Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CRUBCAST this week. I am joined by my fellow co-host, Chris, Mykonos fan.
Hey, man, what's up? What are we doing?
We'll get to that in a second. I'm still introducing everyone. Be patient. It's Sean Wolfke-Osan.
I have Sonic.
And Cass. That Trav guy, Cass.
Hi.
Today, we're talking about Metal Gear. Not just talking about Metal Gear. We've had submitted to us some, quote-unquote, hot takes from our viewers, our audience members, and anyone we sent out this form to, and anyone who saw it. They were able to submit to us several differing opinions on the Metal Gear franchise, the mainline games, the spin-offs, Kojima, everything here or there, mix of positive and negative. We have a plethora of them to go through, and I don't know if we'll have the time to get to them all, but we're going to try our best. The way this is going to be formatted is I'm going to read off a bunch of takes at once that kind of deal with similar issues, and then we'll sort of hone in and zero in on that issue, similar to how we did the Souls episode. Where that one was more focused on gameplay, understandably. This one, being Metal Gear, we have more that tend to deal with the tones and the themes and the storytelling of the franchise. There's a bit on gameplay. We'll get to that. I think we'll start with the tonality and stuff and just kind of go from there. Does anyone have any hot takes of their own before we get into this? By which I mean the three of you.
No.
Not yet.
Good.
I feel like it'll come to me.
Good. That lets us get to the viewer things quicker. So, starting off, we have a few takes here. One of them is, I love that the games aren't super serious and are willing to take the piss out of things and have some fun here and there, especially in the older games. Mixing that in with being able to juggle a mix of tones that manages to almost never subtract from each other, something I like.
I have a hot take. Yeah. That's not a hot take.
Well, it's...
And real quick, this sounds like they could also be talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Sean, guess what?
No.
Surprise!
I was just going to say, is this where we reveal that we sent out a Kingdom Hearts hot takes document?
What is the real thing?
No.
That'd be really going to lose my mind.
Really.
I would have lost my mind.
File that one away.
I just think Waka should have been the main character of Kingdom Hearts 1.
So the way this is formatted, people got a chance to give their opinions, both positive and negative. So these ones are obviously a bit more positive. I think talking more about the just the tonality of the games, how they do mix that seriousness and that.
I want a hot
comedy.
take first, Brody. We're doing hot takes. Give me one. Give me something to bite into.
All right. You know what? I'll give you the one that I was saving for you, Chris. I'll give you this right off the bat.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
This is a lengthy one. The Metal Gear series helped inform my political worldview and sense of humor, and also my Zenless Zone Zero obsession.
Oh, you typed this, okay?
No. Went through a hard time in my life last year, but then I saw an ad for Seed and Orphe and went, they look Metal Gear-esque, and that made me pick up the game. Everybody in the Obel squad ended up being my favorite characters, and then I picked Metal Gear back up to positively reevaluate the series and got a stronger will to live. Personal life's been great ever since. The irony isn't lost on me that a Konami game series inspired me to gamble for characters in an entirely unrelated franchise. Everything for my neurodivergent military Oshis.
That's still not a hot take, but it's an interesting one.
It's the longest one we have.
That is insane!
I mean...
I have two thoughts. My first thought is, I'm glad you found something. I have strange things that have kept me going, so I get it. On the other hand, I'm sorry that it was gambling. As someone else who has spent 100 hours plus in ZZZ, I get it. Also, I'm sorry. I'm with you. I'm sorry.
It's an insane one.
That is crazy.
I don't know who these. Yeah, I don't know who those characters are. I dropped off before that. I assume.
Did you see
Metal
the
Gear...
one on the floating Segway?
No.
Her ult's always focused on her feet. That's
great.
Orphe has a dragon tail thing that speaks, but is a robot.
Okay, so like Blade Wolf, but a tail.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I can see that. I'm thinking Obel Squad is the one that the green and orange ones are from, right? And
that's where my ZZZ knowledge starts to fail. I lost track of the squad names.
I'm just looking up the new characters so I can see who these people even are.
I'm curious about MGS informing the political opinions, though, because I really feel like that's like
that I think
teetering
the
that
only
could go either
thing-
way.
That's the only thing there that made sense to me, but maybe that's because I have a hard time like understanding the idea of Metal Gear Solid made me conservative. Like
Well, they
that.
didn't say that.
I don't think it's
Well,
made me
wait.
conservative. I
Well,
think
no,
it's Metal
you
Gear
said that
Solid
it could
made
go
me-
either way, and I'm like, no, that's insane. How the hell?
There are
Unless
people,
it's like
if
about
you
your
remember,
opinion on women, which I kind of understand.
well, this might, maybe someone even said this, but if you remember back when Rising came out, there were people who were like, Senator Armstrong's kind of got a point.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
He's kind of making some sense, though.
Even though he just repeats a bunch of Reagan talk points.
It was
that's-
insane that like
He yelled it.
Senator Armstrong was literally a parody of the American politician at the time, and now he doesn't feel like a parody.
I was
Yeah,
telling co-crubber Kevin last night. It's like, I think in 3 years I'm not going to be able to laugh at Senator Armstrong anymore because this is going to feel like the window has shifted to where he's kind of already saying most of what's being said now, but in like 3 years it will just be like, wow, he seemed kind of normal back then. This is crazy.
Yeah, and remember how I was also in that voice chat yesterday and brought out that he also said the whole like "Make America Great Again." Do you remember that? Remember that, Chris? Because I was also there when you were having that conversation. Yeah, just Kevin.
I remember you
Just
being
Kevin
wrong
from
about that.
Crub.
Yes.
Well, like, it's a people don't understand that "Make America Great"
Oh yeah,
was a
it's from
slogan in like the
yeah,
80s.
Yeah. But no, this was obviously for those who haven't played Revengeance, this is way before all this. Moving on from that, like
Revengeance was in like 2011, right?
13 February.
2013. Okay, because
that was after Fruit Ninja.
The villain literally just says verbatim, "We're gonna make America great again."
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up.
But like the thing when it comes to like with politics is I also kind of look at it as people also misconstrue big bosses, dream and what have you. So like you get different interpretations by looking at everybody's differing opinions within the universe itself. So there's many ways that you can go. Like I don't know. I have this one friend who got me into the series, and they have some very different takes than I do or have used to. I don't know. But I mean, whatever.
There exists a subset of people that will play Metal Gear, and I don't think they'll take away the opposing political view of what the games are saying, but I do think that there are enough people out there that could basically kind of ignore the politics and be like, no, it's not a political game, it's just a fun mech
Oh,
game.
absolutely.
with explosion." Like that, those people exist. They're dumb, but they
100%.
Me watching Big Boss shake the president's hand at the end of Snake Eater. No, they're just friends. There's no meaning behind anything that just
I
happened.
think it would be
And they
insane.
were roommates.
He's crying 'cause he's
Insane
happy.
to listen to the boss's speech right before her boss fight and go like, "Man, I miss when games weren't political," and then saying like, "This is the game." Like, oh my.
Yeah,
Gosh.
right. And we have one of these takes just says Kojima is a prophet. Like that's all it says. And it is interesting that how he has. It's the classic like, oh, Simpsons predicted it. Like it's it's a lot of guesswork and a lot of like people lining up things.
I mean,
that aren't necessarily there, but
It's
like
just having your finger on the pulse. Like he just understood the trends. It's not that crazy of a reach.
I think what's interesting, especially because I'm thinking I've been watching a lot of Simpsons recently, and a lot of those episodes that I'm watching have come out like, early 2000s, mid 2000s, like that's where I am in it. And I'm like, everything that's being said here feels like it is applicable today, not in a way where it feels like they predicted it, but in a way where it's just the same problems repeating over and over and over again. So it's not so much, I think, that Kojima has literally predicted a lot of things. Like, sure, the internet age or whatever it is, he got some of that, but like, it is kind of just reading the cycles. And attributing not what's going to happen, but what's currently happening, and then kids play that and grow up, and it's still happening, and they're like, "Wow, he predicted it."
It's like The Simpsons, but Kojima.
Yeah,
That's a weird sentence.
Give me another take, Brody.
yeah. So I have 3 here that are kind of lengthy, but they're all about Kojima specifically.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to read all 3 off, and we'll see if we grab anything out of it. The perception of Kojima and his works as both an artistic visionary and an eccentric shitposter with too much power don't have to be mutually exclusive. Things like Snake going on a tangent to worship a cardboard box's utility, or Raiden getting peed on by an obvious guard or oblivious guard, does not somehow invalidate the narrative's criticism of nuclear weaponry, the digital age, and the human condition as a whole.
Right.
Silly and serious moments can coexist. That I was going to use that as sort of a block from those other two at the beginning. Next, we have
That's life. That's life. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Kojima is very hugely, extremely clearly a filmmaker trapped in a game director's body. Metal Gear is one of the best examples of games being taken more seriously, not just as art, but as actually good art. Adopting cinematic language in a serious way led to many players viewing the series as something a cut above traditional action or stealth games from the era. And the final one on Kojima specifically that we have here, Kojima getting to be an auteur filmmaker can sometimes lead to, say, let's call them overindulgences. Personally, being hit with a goddamn 4-hour cutscene in the middle of Guns of the Patriots was actually both peak cinema and peak gaming, but it's hard to deny it's excessive and potentially extremely jarring.
Can't disagree with any of those three.
Yeah. I mean, literally with the opening of Metal Gear Solid 4, you get gameplay after like a 20-minute intro cutscene, and all you do is climb under a truck, and then you get like another 30-minute cutscene.
Yeah. I don't think there's literally a 4-hour cutscene in the game. I do think the final cutscene.
No, the longest continuous cutscene was 71 minutes. I only know that because it held the world record for the longest continuous cutscene for a while.
It depends on how
still
you
have it.
It depends on how you count
Death
it.
Stranding has it beat. I might be wrong.
Because I think like if it depends on what you count as cutscene, because a literal cutscene, like literal movie, I think it's 71. But if you factor in the idea of like codec conversations merging like multiple cutscenes in one like long string of not playing a game, I think it's actually like 2.5 hours. I remember specifically every time I beat MGS4, I go and get popcorn before I sit down for the final. Like literally every time.
Yeah, like get some coffee, get a snack.
I'm excited for the collection to come out and resurface this to people who either have not played it in a long time or have never played it and are going to be like, "What the? I got to pull up Subway Surfers, man."
I am so excited to see people's first impressions of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like,
that's
when do I get to shoot?
When do I get to listen to the In-Universe podcast? Those are still.
I really hope that the game on PC has like keyboard and mouse controls. That would be cool. Pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, real quick thing. Guess what the second longest cutscene is?
Second longest?
Yeah.
Prototype 2.
Like, are we talking like in total or in Metal Gear Solid 4?
In total, because still the longest cutscene in video game history is still Metal Gear Solid's 71 minute.
Legend of Sub-Zero opening cutscene.
Nope.
Something in Kingdom Hearts.
Nope.
What is it?
All right, give us one hint before you just tell us what company is it?
I think there's Sega.
Yakuza 3.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yakuza
5?
Yakuza 0. Director's cut.
Really?
There's a 60-minute cutscene.
Jeez, I guess the director's cut threw it in somewhere, huh?
Yeah, the scene lasts 42 minutes, yet the director's cut adds even more to these scenes, bringing it to a total of 60 minutes.
That must be the ending of the game, because they do just kind of dump a lot right at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So these takes that I just read off are obviously they're a little lengthy, but they're about Kojima. They're just about like the length and tone of the games. But they're very positive, right? These are kind of they're glazing Kojima a bit. These I think go hand in hand with these. We have a few much shorter takes, but that go with this kind of topic here.
Kojima's stupid.
Is as followed. One says too much movie. One says long-winded, and one that's a little more articulate says the games pull off the cardinal FU of telling us without showing in their narratives.
Oh, f*** off. That is so...
a swear jar.
I'm sorry, swear jar. I got a little heated.
I avoid it. It's in the take is the full word. I tried to avoid it, but it's nice to know that we still have to bleep it anyway.
That just means the hot takes are working, baby. Let's go.
I feel nothing.
That is insane. Like, all right, you long-winded. Go play like Crisis 2. Jeez. What are you doing?
Why that game?
Like, if it's Metal Gear, like you can't sit through a cutscene in Metal Gear 1 when he's like, I built Metal Gear with my own hands. You want to see Otacon with a wrench going, I'm building Metal Gear? Like, no, he's gonna tell you because the Snake is the conduit for the player, and he has to be told what's going on. He's not gonna be seeing this stuff.
Seeing the stuff. Yeah.
Also, when the games just cut to an FMV for some reason, you really get to see all the.
Oh, it's so good.
Dude, I love Delta the other night.
There is an amazing. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I got to see JFK within like the first 10 minutes of MGS Delta. It was great. I was like, this is why I'm here.
You really have you really have to like buy into it, right? Like, and I can understand for someone that doesn't know these games, is coming in for the first time and like is like, oh, I've heard really good things. This could probably be like, oh, I didn't expect this, or what is this? This is very strange. Once you're in the sauce, it's amazing. You love it. I want more of it. I want everything that he will give me.
Or you just hate everything outright, and you're like, this is a travesty to everything I've ever felt about a video game.
Right, and I can understand the idea that like, oh, he should be making movies or whatever, but it's like, yeah, but you're not going to go sit down in the theater for a 9-hour movie, but I will watch 9 hours of cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 4 any day of the week. Like,
I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of someone playing a video game being like, I can't believe they're telling us this instead of showing us. Like, when it's already a hostage situation in like Metal Gear Solid 1, like, what do you mean? You have to uncover the mystery. You don't go into a mystery movie and be like, why didn't I see the crime take place?
I mean,
well, sometimes you do, and you just don't see the face of the killer,
And sometimes Kojima does show don't tell, right? Like mechanically, the start of MGS4, Johnny shits into a barrel and rolls away, and Snake goes, He's not like, I guess I could get into a barrel. He just meant to intuit like, I could get into that barrel and shit myself, and it might work. But then for all I know, maybe a pop-up comes up. It's like, you could go into a barrel, Snake. The Mark II will tip it over for you.
Yeah, that's not. It wouldn't be a pop-up. You would get like that. Snake. Otacon would come on.
Snake, what are you doing in that barrel?
Barrels were first invented in 1978 for use on oil tankers.
And that's the tell-don't show,
maybe if you try pushing your weight in one direction, you could roll around. But be careful not to roll around too much, Snake. You might throw up.
There's this thing called physics that was invented in 1843.
And then just because we're like a cutscene.
Well, it all ties back to Isaac Newton when he met the apple.
And this is how one of the Patriots.
Hallelujah.
I heard that as Isaac Newton, one of our Patreons.
Hey, one of our Patreon subscribers, Isaac Newton, writes in with his next hot take. Brody, what do you say?
What do you say?
He says, Sam, this is on the nose, man.
No, this is Isaac Newton.
What?
Yeah.
Isaac Newton.
I mean, that's what it says, though.
That's a hot take?
I don't know what to tell you.
That's the intro to your forum, Brody, which was Death Stranding themed for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't resist. But yeah, someone wrote in, Sam, this is on the nose, man. We also have here...
real Isaac Newton.
This one, and this is a legitimate, I think, point of genuine contention. This one just says, the female characters are not done well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Huge agree.
Yeah,
Kojima there's an argument to say that Kojima is like legitimately very progressive in his views until you get to his representation of women.
I think you see a lot of that with especially like a lot of certain medias that are presented as progressive, and then you get like little things like that where you're like, huh, that's a strange like incongruency with everything else. And yeah, Metal Gear is no stranger to that. I think certainly there are a lot of female characters in the series that I like, and I think like I enjoy them quite a lot as characters. But to say that the women are written well, that's another situation. But like it's like I like Meryl, I like Eva. I think they're good characters within the context of the stories. I like, but they are relegated to certain roles, and that's where things.
Hell, I'll even say that I think that Quiet is an interesting character, but she's.
But
you will regret your words.
Still a little
deeds.
problematic.
I will never forget. You will regret your words and deeds when you find out
the secret reason.
Whatever you said. The secret reason.
Yeah,
it's so good.
A tweet started with a continued. That was on old Twitter, brother. He had to mince those words.
Yeah.
Is it just kind of the boss who wasn't overtly sexualized and Bond girl did?
I mean, even then, final boss, she's got her like, cleavage out. She's
Yeah,
still
and
doing some of it.
She
And
had to
also,
show the
it's
snake
kinda like-
thing, I guess.
Like,
Is there a woman in Metal Gear that isn't flaunting their cleavage?
Um,
Don't think so, because before, like, you in Metal Gear 2 you could have said, or Metal Gear Solid 2 you could have been like, oh, Rose, but then in 4 you have the 6-axis
Yeah.
jiggle. So
yeah,
there was
Which
covered
isn't
up cleavage
insane.
woman.
I
I
wonder
guess
if
Emma
they'll
Emmerich.
keep the,
Emma Emmerich is a good
Yeah.
woman representation.
Okay.
well, kind of. Yes, in the sense that she's not sexualized in the way the rest are, but she is still relegated to a role.
Oh yeah,
of,
she
like,
still needs a man
she's
to
the
save her.
damsel. Yeah, exactly, right.
Like
And
a
then, so it's
bird.
just like, it's like if
Did
a
you see
woman
the
doesn't.
bird?
yeah. Wait, what?
She needed the bird to save her, right?
God.
That's Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I wish this was a take that was
I think-
wrong.
I also like Naomi personally.
I like
Naomi.
Naomi. Naomi's a good character.
Well, okay, actually, here let me say it this way: there are there are a lot of like women in Metal Gear Solid that I really like. Like there are a lot of great characters, but they all kind of just are on like the same.
They're relegated to certain
Scale.
roles.
Yeah,
They're
Well, like they're either all, they're all either meant to be like nice on the eyes. They're either all meant to be mothers in some way, and them being a mother is like the whole point of their character. They're all there to be flirty with Snake and be flirted by with Snake. Flirted with by Snake. Flirted. I don't know words. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
I think that there's also like there's a lot of nuance with this where we're not saying that these are all bad characters because of
Right.
this. It's just like you cannot deny that there is a trend there with how Kojima writes women. Like you're not gonna run into an unattractive woman who's pissing herself in a locker. I mean, I guess Emma,
Sadly.
but
Yeah.
like that. It's just the thing. It's like, oh, I need to
Yeah.
write a woman. I'm gonna make them a mom. I'm gonna make them hot. I'm gonna make them flirty, and sometimes it's all three.
yeah, or like a damsel or whatever it is. But like it's
Like hell, even when he writes a child's young woman character in Peace Walker, he's like, surprise, this woman's actually old enough. Do you want to oogle her? Let's put her in a bikini.
Never
I
be
forgot
peaceful.
about that.
Yeah, Peace Walker is its own beast, which is and it's
Yeah.
funny that the women are so like this in the games, and maybe it's because of this that we get this kind of like doomed yaoi take on the series, because someone has
Yep.
said here that Snake and Otacon are the best couple, and I think that's true.
I agree. Yeah.
Like Sonny or Sonny Emmerich, I guess now has the best parents, right? Because Snake and Otacon are just
Well, not anymore. I think Snake's dead.
well, it's implied, but it's never like officially confirmed, right?
I don't know. His arm might still be alive.
It might be. It's not. They leave it
Yeah.
ambiguous, and I think that's good. I think the getting an
Nanomachines.
answer on that is good.
They could have made the fox live to counterbalance the fox die. you know?
Fox, yeah.
That was my
If we
biggest sadness coming into Metal Gear back in the day. It was like, oh man, there's Solid Snake and Otacon. It's like they're kind of just two games with them, really. Like I know there's technically more, but there's kind of
Yeah.
just two.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like in Solid 1 they meet, and then in 2 and 4 they're working together. But yeah, you really only get those 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how he plays with the idea of like Otacon is one of the best video game sidekicks I think to ever exist, and he plays with that idea when he introduces Huey, because you're expecting him to be so much like Otacon, and then he's just just awful, just truly awful.
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
unless
Like,
Kaz framed him, and Kaz might have framed him, and that's really funny to think about.
Should
I
be
don't
you
think
on this
that's the
boat, Snake.
takeaway, but
Well,
no, I think that he's a legitimately deplorable person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, and also,
Now, unless we could find a video essay that says like Huey was innocent,
How
and
Huey
it's not
Emmerich.
just because
No,
there's
there's like a
not just
I'm-
because he killed his wife. Like
I'm YouTubing
that's
this.
because that's very based and red pilled.
The Sigma
Like, maybe there's
comfort of
something
Huey Emmerich.
Huey was
there is like a
He was not understood.
innocent.
there's like a
No
5-minute
fear.
video that's just a
Enter.
compilation of all of the evidence that Kaz framed him.
There's
And it's,
literally
Really?
Huey's
it's
innocent.
it's kind of compelling.
I might
It's
need to
actually
watch
like,
this.
oh man. Yeah.
I need to put that on when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah,
so that I'm
I'll-
woken up by Carl's Jr. Burger.
I'll
They're
find
like
it in the post
30
show,
seconds. Yeah.
and I'll link it in the post show.
Out of the 20 minutes of Phantom Pain cutscenes, I might have glazed my eyes over during some of them because I was just like, oh, wait, there's a story
hold
again?
on.
Hold on.
There's at least like an hour of cassette tapes.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the burgers.
Yeah. We do have some gameplay specific takes here. We have two that feel positive, two that feel negative. So I'll go through them. The first says, well, I don't know if this is gameplay, but it says the amount of forethought put into the codec system never ceases to amaze me. Even knowing that it's just a piece of software with limited voice clips to pull from, the sheer amount of situations that the game have conversations prepared for go a long way in making the characters really feel alive. This is complemented by this take below that says, I love the attention to detail in the games and how they react to what you do. I think the codec does a lot of that. Obviously, Metal Gear Solid 5 takes that further and says, oh, you're getting headshots, we're going to start putting helmets, or you're getting body shots, we're going to start using body armor, you're going in at night, now they have night vision goggles, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But also the codec, of course. The codec really does come... Like, every single situation has a codec conversation of some sort. And they'll tell you
Metal Gear
about...
Solid 3 has like a whole like ecosystem thing with the animals and all that.
Yeah. No, like it's crazy that the amount of Kojima really pioneered the concept of horse testicles in a lot of ways.
No, you're totally right.
And also being able to make a horse shit on command. Like there was a lot of horse stuff going on back then.
Yeah.
You know?
You can use that to make vehicles spin out if they run over the horse poop.
And
Which
yourself,
is crazy
because like
you couldn't make the wolf poop. You couldn't do that. Like no,
only the horse.
Poor D-Dog.
Which they should have put more horse in the trailer.
What? Why couldn't I command every single one of my companions in MGS5?
I really liked that with the horse, you could press the crouch button and he just slinks to the side of the horse.
Yeah, he knows.
I like Chris's face as he was realizing what I meant when I said that.
Of course you meant you wanted Quiet to take a dumpy. I know, I get it.
Obviously I'm talking about the...
Well, I mean, wait, what else is the command when you hold up the menu and you say do it? What does she do?
Yeah, what she do?
She poops.
Tell me.
On Reddit, I think.
I was supposed to do that today.
Yeah, you were.
Command Ocelot.
And then the two more negative gameplay takes we have here are aiming weapons in the earlier games can be a pain in the ass. Nothing wrong with that for the most part, since it's a stealth game, and the stealth is far more satisfying anyway, but the mandatory fights can be frustrating sometimes.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, you've been teaching me to be stealthy this entire time. And well, yes, there's like stealth moments during boss fights. It's like, oh, you've been making me do everything I can to be stealthy, but now it's like, okay, now I'm in like a random gunfight in very small quarters. Okay.
Yeah. It can be jarring if what you're expecting, again, like a first-time player going through expecting stealth and not really understanding the intricacies of all the mechanics and stuff. I can see that. I personally think that Metal Gear Solid as a series has some of the coolest boss fights in video games.
Oh yeah,
they always make you think about the mechanics in like new and interesting ways that like you weren't thinking about before. I think that's
who's your underrated favorite boss fight?
I think Crying Wolf. I think Crying Wolf was my underrated favorite boss fight. I really like Crying Wolf. Laughing Octopus too.
She from 4?
Yeah, she's from 4.
The sniper fight from 4.
Right, you fight her in the same place as the second Sniper Wolf fight.
Yeah. I think nostalgia. I think
they're really good. I think all the MGS4 boss fights honestly are really good.
MGS4 had some great boss fights. I love Decoy Octopus. No, Laughing Octopus.
Laughing Octopus.
Yeah.
Like that one's fun. Like it disguises itself as a very large Metal Gear Mark II, and it's like, "Hey, Snake, it's me, Otacon," and you go and punch it, and it's like,
also, wow, they all have terrible, sadly, very sad backstories.
You only learn about them after you kill them, so you don't feel as bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
your
no.
Shopkeeper calls you up and he's like, "Hey, did you know? By the way,
I think mine is
this person you killed, Orphan."
I think mine's Gray Fox, in all honesty. The Gray Fox, gosh. Yeah, their name was Dr. Orphan. Meanwhile, they're actually Dolphin or Dorphin. That's dumb. I don't like that. Take it back.
I think like every fight in Metal Gear Solid 3 is a good fight. Anyways, you're talking about Gray Fox?
Oh yeah, no, I think Gray Fox is like the most underrated because like while they have like the cool design, I think people just never really talk about the boss fight itself. which I really liked.
You mean the boss fight where you run around and then hope that he spawns near you, and so you go pew, pew, and then you run away?
Well, you have like all the gear to also like figure out where they are. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fun fight, don't get me wrong. I remember the first time I did that fight, and I was like, all right, I finally beat him. And then he does the thing where like he gets the shield around him. He's like, and then you're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and it's like, yay, we're friends now. This shouldn't go bad.
There's also, I think I mean, you can't talk about bosses in Metal Gear without talking about Psycho Mantis, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that's the most...
I think that's one of the most iconic.
I shot the statues.
I think you'd be surprised what we can do, Brody.
Yeah. God.
Okay, go on.
We could totally not invoke that one.
Well, one thing I like, because I played Metal Gear Solid 1 for the first time on the PS3, PS1 version, which thankfully at the time they were pretty good about like providing a digital version of the manuals, and they were also good about having a function for switching the port of your controller. You could go to the options and switch your port to port 2. So I was able to do that, which is really nice. I imagine that's probably not as easy on something like an emulator these days. Although I guess there is the new. I don't know how the new collection handles that.
I just like the idea of like unplugging it from one USB to the other one,
or the idea of having to get.
I think there's literally a thing in like the special menu that changes your controller port. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
and how do they handle?
But I mean, you don't even have to do that. There is a way to beat them without changing the controller port.
I think they have an easy way to do it from the pause menu specifically for that moment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I feel like that maybe gives it away a little bit.
games on your virtual memory card so he can react to them in the collection.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's cute.
I think that's the thing.
Fun. How do they handle the Merrill codec number?
They give you a virtual
manual
instruction booklet that has the back of the actual book.
That's how it was on PS3. It was just like it was native on PS3.
Well, if I'm thinking of the same one, it might have been a different one because I had like the big Legacy collection that also came with 4. And I think on the back of the physical case for the collection, it also had Meryl's number on there.
That sounds right.
I should call her.
We have some individidual game takes. These are takes that are on like individual games.
Now we're talking.
Do you want to sort them by game?
Yeah.
Is there enough to sort them by game?
Kind of. Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot here, but I'll just take you through them. The first one says, Snake Eater is a near perfect game, if not for A, the survival viewer and having to constantly heal yourself, and B, the entire fight with the Fury. F that boss so much.
The Fury is definitely like the weakest fight, and I'll be honest, I forgot about the Fury when I was saying that every fight in MGS3 is good, so I might walk that back.
Yeah, fair enough.
I read that and misinterpreted. I thought they were talking about the Fear because I actually forgot about the Fury as well.
The Fear is a really fun fight to do non-lethal because he'll be like, "I'm so sleepy," because like with the thing you're depleting their like stamina bar, and so he's like, I'm so sleepy," and then he'll start running after food that's around the arena. And sometimes he'll just do it to himself. He'll run over his own trip mines and just explode himself, or he'll just like go after the first thing he sees. Or you can shoot a food and turn it into like a little canister that he'll go after, and then he'll eat a poison frog and go out poison, and then he'll die. It's a really goofy fight to do non-lethal. Anyway, sorry.
It's fun.
Survival viewer really was my biggest roadblock trying to get into MGS3 first time I played it. Like it's not so bad, but it was just I was terrible at the games. I was so frequently in that stupid menu picking bullets out of myself. And it's just like, I just want to crawl, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of like...
I just want a game.
There's a lot of like...
shocked that they didn't make it a new system for the remake.
Yeah,
it is the exact same.
Stopping and moving things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I kind of respect that a little bit because it's like, okay, you didn't try to change too much. And I think they would have got... I think they would have gotten more backlash if they would have, because
they probably, especially with the absence of Kojima.
Well, because like in Delta, they have a quick menu to change your camos without going into the camo menu, and they have a quick thing for the codec, so you could just pick a codec number on the fly without going into the codec menu. They didn't do that for the survival viewer, which I think is like that's the one thing I feel like would make sense to have that quick access to. Like even if it's just here's a radial menu. Here's the condition you have, and then pick all the things. So it's just like, oh, I'm in a thing. Hold left bumper, use right stick. Beep, 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 beep. All right, I'm fixed.
Yeah. That would have been my hot take. Is that otherwise that's a cool remake, and I'm glad it's so similar to the original. But aside
It
from
is a
that,
pretty great remake.
This next one I think is pretty spicy. Actually,
Oh,
this next
okay.
one I feel like is pretty spicy. It says the first Metal Gear Solid unloads its entire clip in the first 3 hours, and if you stop playing by the time you're done fighting the tank, you've seen all the best parts and skipped all the worst parts.
That's
No.
insane.
Yeah, I disagree with that entirely.
is the very moment after
think
that
that
the card business,
Wait, what?
You say
the
after-
cold
after the
card,
tank?
hot card?
No, I think after the tank is the
No,
where you can't,
after the tank, you
can't
get
use your
into
weapons. The
you get into the
nuclear-
facility that has a gas leak.
And you gotta go downstairs.
Um,
You gotta use the missile launcher that you can control. Then you go to Sniper Wolf, and then it's not
Which
for a
is-
while.
Well, like
until you get
even
the
then,
cold card
I
hot
think
card.
that I think that the biggest pace breaker in Solid 1 is when you have to go up the giant staircase and then descend down in this weird like mini game.
I can
Because
see
honestly,
that.
I think that even the key that changes with the thing, like the backtracking, is not that bad in my opinion.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It doesn't take too long, and I like something like that sometimes where it's like, oh, I get to see where I've been and reminisce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
like it too.
reason you're thinking of that, Chris, is because the tank fight is a Raven fight, and the card stuff happens after the actual Raven fight.
Maybe it's been a long time since I played MGS1. I've only done it once. If we're
been a
pushing
while.
back on this, we as a collective, what is
Yeah.
after that we're like, no, you got to keep playing for that? Like probably story
Cyber-
stuff, obviously, but
I mean, the
Everything
entire
with Liquid,
the
the
entire
Metal Gear
ending.
Rex fight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like for sure.
Like I think as soon as Liquid reveals himself after he's like, "Did you like my sunglasses?" Like I think like that is when I am locked in for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't care how late it is. I'm finishing the game tonight because it's fantastic.
I also like everything with Sniper Wolf.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
everything with Sniper Wolf, I really like. I like
Oh,
that
that's great.
whole like.
I liked in
subplot
the
with her and
Twin
Otacon.
Snakes when he does a kickflip off the gun.
I gotta play that someday.
I haven't played Twin Snakes. I've replayed the first game many times. I've never played it via Twin Snakes. I kind of fear playing it via Twin Snakes.
I've never played Twin Snakes either, and now I'm very intrigued.
It's worth it. There's like no joke. So like I might be exaggerating the kickflip. I'm pretty sure what he actually does is there's a sniper rifle on the ground next to him, and he kicks the
Oh.
foot of it, and it flips up, and then he catches it and then shoots.
That seems familiar. I think I've seen that.
But what he
Yeah.
does do, like one thing that I do remember for sure, is like
Is
when
Yali?
you beat the helicopter fight, the helicopter shoots a missile, and Snake jumps onto the missile, kicks off, and the
That's-
camera goes into a front shot like this, where the rocket's going behind him. It explodes behind him, and then he fires the rocket at the missile or at the helicopter.
I do remember that.
It
This is whenever Kojima
the-
said,
the
I want to
one-
make movies.
Well, because I think it's interesting. I find this really respectable about Twin Snakes. It made me come around on it, where originally the cutscenes were going to be like the originals, but then Snake was like, "Well, then what's the point? Like, then like there's no reason to play the original. Let's do something new. Let's do something
Then
crazy."
Snake-
I'm like, "All right, I respect that."
So Snake said that.
No, Snake doesn't say that. Kojima said that.
Oh,
We have
Sorry,
a
did
few
I say
things-
Snake said that? My bad.
Yeah, that's where I was like, he's saying it from the game.
as long as you didn't play the original.
Make me different.
we have a few takes on Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
The first is I think Metal Gear Solid 2 uses codec calls to present the story too often. It being just models
I
instead of the drawn portraits makes it feel worse than in 1 as well.
I agree.
Yeah,
I can see
there is a charm to having those illustrations that the early PS2 models I think don't quite get. I don't think there's
Did you hear
anything
that
too-
person who had submitted this? We all agree with it. It's not a hot
Yeah.
take. It doesn't count.
Good job, you.
Yeah.
Well, then we have someone saying, I'm going to read this in the voice that I feel like this deserves.
don't mock
to maybe
them.
be read
Come
on. No. Metal Gear Solid's 2 ending is not confusing. People just reach too far. Raiden has nanomachines in his blood that is linked to a computer he has just uploaded a virus to. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. MGS2's ending isn't confusing.
Okay,
for me,
so
but
first
I don't
off,
think we have to
people,
go
I
into all
don't,
that.
I didn't know people thought MGS2's ending was confusing.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
It does
And
dump a
two-
lot on you, but
Wait, is this person implying that like because Raiden's connected to the AI thing in some way that Raiden's hallucinating the ending?
I know it says Raiden has nanomachines in his blood that is linked to a computer he just uploaded a virus to. So I guess the idea is the hallucinations are a technological virus and not part of his
I don't
conditioning
think that's the. I
or
don't.
the AI. I don't
I'm
know.
sorry,
That's
person who
a strange
submitted
one.
that. I don't think that's.
I feel like they've made the ending more confusing for themselves.
Yeah,
It's
like it's
interesting,
not
though.
that confusing of an ending.
Interesting
Yeah.
though.
I do like MGS2's ending, the whole like reveal and all of that. think
I like
that's
when
really cool.
Solidus reaches for a flag that's not there because 9/11 happened.
God. This one says, and this kind of relates to both 2 and 4, I suppose, but this says the Liquid Ocelot plot point is really dumb, especially for this franchise. I'm glad it was sort of retconned, but it was just one of those plot elements that was a little too out there.
The guy that shoots like raven ghosts out of his head. You know,
Yeah,
that's more ground. That's grounded.
Right.
it is.
And
I
it's like
gotta
I do
say-
appreciate I do appreciate the retcon insofar as I think it makes Ocelot an even more compelling character.
I agree. I think
Like,
the retcon is a net positive.
It is, but I also was totally on board with it just being actually Liquid's ghost that entire time. Like I was
Like,
totally like, yeah, sure.
I do think that it, like I said this earlier, during
Especially
the
after
pre-show.
3 establishes that ghosts are real. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like during the pre-show, I'm like, I feel like there's still like some kind of influence because his dad, the fear, dealt with ghosts and what have you. So I feel like and even throughout the series, like Ocelot does have like these little like moments where it's like, there's some spirit stuff going on there, bud. Maybe. So that's why, like, I feel like it's not like one of those situations where it's just Liquid, but rather a 2 souls, 1 body, but one is the pilot and the other is just like the co-pilot, sometimes yelling.
Yeah, like a mech.
I also think that like both ideas can coexist because like he got the arm removed and replaced. Maybe
It could
at that
also just be
point,
like
he
a
started
psychological thing.
hypnotizing himself.
Yeah, it could be like a psychological thing too,
Yeah.
Metal Gear. There's no room for nuance in Metal Gear, Sean.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should know better.
I do think it's
Yeah.
interesting that like the retcon is established as almost the basis of the entirety of MGS5 too, obviously, with the player character being Venom Snake and all of that. That idea being used to say this is also
No,
happened.
I'm playing as Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5.
Right. Oh yeah.
Brody,
In
did
a
you
way-
pay attention.
You're not wrong.
So this next one just says Snake's Revenge is the pinnacle of NES games and the peak of the series gameplay and story wise.
No.
Yeah.
Has anyone here
thing that
besides
exists.
past played Snake's Revenge? I guess you, Sean.
Yeah.
I haven't.
To
I
be
can't say
fair,
anything about it.
I only played it like
I'll be
on an-
honest. I don't think it's a bad game. It was pretty solid. No pun intended. But it's.
I
not.
played it in high school.
I liked
in,
how Big Boss
keyboard.
becomes a mech at the very end of it. That looks a lot like RoboCop.
I get confused on
Yeah.
the names. Is this the one made for NES or was this 2?
Yes, this was made
This was
for
the fake
NES.
2. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the fake 2. It's the
This is the one that has side-scrolling shooter Contra segments.
I didn't
Yeah.
play this one. Okay.
non-canon,
Right.
I believe.
Then I think this person's right. Having not played it, I agree with them.
Yeah.
This is a spicy take though.
would-
I like it. This one feels bold. I think everyone else has been in like, not to be mean. I feel like everyone else has been kind of like the relative. Most people feel this way. This is one
I feel
I'm
like
this
Brody's
person,
been waiting.
Yeah, this person feels this. And I don't know if I'm with them, but I like that they feel it.
Oh,
You're falling into the trap. You're
should
falling
see-
into the trap.
there's I compiled multiple Snake's Revenge takes actually on this. There's
Okay.
There's more than one.
Let's hear it.
yeah. Well, we'll get into them. They're sort of in the other categories. We'll see them in a few minutes. The last one I have sort of in this category just says, "I love Calorie Mate." That's it.
I tried
That's
one.
not-
That's a
They're
game
okay.
specific take.
They're only in Solid 3.
Yeah. Oh, 3. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, there's also the
Okay.
Calorie Mate game on Steam that's free.
Excuse me?
I'll put it in the show notes. There's an official Calorie Mate game you can play.
Calorie Mate.
I have it on Steam.
Okay.
I searched it up, and no joke, the only thing that came up is Ark Survival Evolved.
Yeah, that's the one. Have you played it?
So this next one, this next set of takes, I put in the form. These are takes on the idea of the current state and future of Metal Gear as a franchise. I asked 2 questions. The first question I asked was, what are your thoughts on the series being essentially dormant now, going over a decade without a new mainline title? That is a new, brand new Metal Gear Solid game that's not a remake or a spin-off or anything like that. A couple people just said, I don't know, it's whatever. Someone just said it's a little sad. Someone said, these are all kind of in line, but someone said, neutral, it would be super exciting to see a new game and to give it a go, but it doesn't matter if we get nothing so long as we still have the series happen the way it did.
That's
and
about where I am.
that echoes a lot of these. Someone has said, that's fine, things are allowed to end. Can I think of places in the story to add new entries? Yes, but nothing can last forever or needs to. So some people are saying, oh yeah, I would take something new, but I don't know, whatever. Someone has said, the ship has long sailed, I think. If by some miracle it does come back, it'll never hit the same regardless. I'm content with the extent of Metal Gear's activity these days, just being more ports for the sake of accessibility. Someone says, I don't mind it being dormant. It told its story and had an ending. And then now we get some of the longer ones here we have. While 5 felt incomplete, which let's be honest, it is, it felt like the series wrapped up and should just stay as is. The only thing I'll really be okay with at this point are remakes, re-releases, and spin-offs. Survive was bad, but at least it was something different, which is what I welcome at this point, which is an interesting take.
Okay.
I forgot about Survive.
I think we all did, and for good reason.
I 100%ed it.
Sean and
That's
I
insane.
were talking about it last night. That's the game that explains the portal technology in MGS5.
Yeah,
they
so
needed to do
literally the bad ending of the game reveals that, well, first off, the twist of the game, the Kojima twist of Survive is that the game is canon. And then like that you're not in a different dimension, you're in the future. And then at the very end of the game, this giant thing, they call it like the Dust Lord or something like that.
Dust Lord.
They're encroaching on your base, and you have like there's this guy in a wheelchair, and you have the option to throw him into a portal to take him back to the present day, or you could be selfish and do it yourself. And if you do that ending, it reveals that all of the missing soldiers from Metal Gear Solid 5 that you find that are like going, boss, like that's you. Like that's the player characters from Metal Gear Survive.
Wild. That's wild. I still don't think that it's enough to get me to like look at that game in any kind of positive light, but
it's not good. They marketed that game as being like a cooperative experience. There's only dedicated co-op missions. The game is still single player.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't even finish the story with someone else.
No, it is a single player story.
That's okay.
That's wild.
My most lukewarm take is that I just want a Rising sequel.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that after in the second question. We have some Rising things, but to finish off the last two takes we had on this question, one of them said, Konami are little bitch babies and realize they can't continue making good games.
Let's go!
Yeah.
They can't continue making good games without Kojima's cutting-edge foot scan technology. It's clear, like with most properties, when taken out of the hands of those who understand it best, it will suffer. And the final take here just kind of took umbrance, maybe, with my phrasing of the question. But it is a hell of a take. It says, ironically, as an Ape Escape fan that MGS3 Delta recently fed, this question is an oxymoron. What even is mainline anymore? They're making Star Wars fans do homework in order to make new movies make sense now. Resident Evil Requiem relies on knowledge of spin-offs like Outbreak, Umbrella Corps, and Revelations 2 to completely piece together major beats and players in the game's narrative. And then it just says, what was the knock on the door just now? So I think they're alluding to the fact that they're having some sort of mental break over this canonization of spin-offs.
It's interesting because I think that they have a good point with the over-reliance on spin-off media.
That's Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's Borderlands. Like, I play not all the Borderlands spin-offs. I haven't played the new Tales because I've heard it's like real bad. But I played the original Tales. I played pre-sequel, and like those are very, very, very referenced in Borderlands 3 mainline, and I love that. It is that is my bread and butter, is seeing all of that and piecing it together. I think Metal Gear has always had this weird relationship with spin-offs in quote-unquote non-canon media, because there's always this mentality of, oh well, if Kojima didn't touch it, it's not real unless it's like Rising specifically, because that game just happens to be so good that people take that as like, yeah, I'll take that as having happened.
Well, it's also like Kojima started Rising, if I remember. Like he helped with Rising originally, and then was like, nah, you guys finish it.
And I believe the director, I mean, obviously, Kamiya did a lot of that in terms of gameplay, but I think the story director was like Kojima's protege. I don't remember his name right now, but I think it was literally his protege that did it.
Is it Kenji something?
Like, I think that Rising is absolutely a spin-off, but it's also like it takes place after everything is really concluded. Like, if anything, it could be interpreted as the start of something new, like a new saga that never happened. But
I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Here's a good question. Do you think that if Okami 2 does really well, that we get a new Metal Gear Rising of Vengeance?
No.
That would I don't think those two relate.
What's the line of thinking there?
Platinum Games.
Oh,
Platinum
I mean,
Games,
it's not even Platinum Games, is it anymore? Right? It's
well, not anymore,
Kamiya
but
left.
yeah.
He has Clovers now. The sequel to Clover Studio.
Clovers. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the restaurant.
Wait, I might be misremembering something.
I don't even think Kamiya was really involved with Rising, other than being at Platinum. He would have been working on Bayonetta or Wonderful 101 or whatever he was doing.
For a second, I was like, I feel like Clovers is working on Okami
Clovers. I thought you said Culvers.
No, I wish. Oh my god. Get a butter burger and cheese curds. Feed him to Snake and Sunny.
What did you just say?
+2.
It's a Midwest thing. You wouldn't get it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Go and try one of their concrete shakes.
Concrete, baby.
Is that what they're called?
That sounds like something that would be in Metal Gear.
I thought they were called cements.
Oh, maybe. I haven't been there in a while.
A cement pancake.
But I think other
That's
than
what they call me in college.
The concept of continuing Rising, I think the general consensus in these takes is people are okay with the series being done and finished and not touched in any way, right?
Yeah, because I wanted to ask what your opinion, what like you as a collective feel about that. Like, do you think we need more Metal Gear, or would it just be nice? Or
I like Metal Gear, but I also kind of look at it as I'm going to equate it to like Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. I feel like Metal Gear Solid 4 is a good way to end Solid Snake's story. Just like I felt like Logan was a good way to end Hugh Jackman's Wolverine story.
But we could bring Solid Snake back in Deadpool.
But you're still excited to see Deadpool and Wolverine now in theaters.
Because it was like, I finally get to see this. But it's like,
Because it was something you always wanted that we never got, that they finally gave.
and it's right there, and it's like, thankfully, like, it doesn't take away what Logan means to me. But I could see, like, some people not feeling the same way as I do. So it's one of those, like, I am fine with it being where it is, but if I get that one thing that I really, really want, I'm okay. Maybe Nanomachines. So
the next game will open with a sequence of Huey fighting off people with Big Boss's bones.
He's using it like Raiden uses a sword.
Actually, yeah. Instead of it's Solid Snake's leg as a sword.
I'm Big Boss, and you are too.
And it has his consciousness in it. I think I'm roughly in the same spot because it's the most cop-out answer. It's like, well, if they make a good one, I'd be there for it, right? But I'm not very confident that would happen. But there is a part of me that's like, man, it'd feel really cool to be back in that world with those characters and them yucking it up and doing whatever they're doing. And I'm not going to lie, even if it's a little stupid, I'd probably get pretty excited and be like, man, I'm playing a new Metal Gear and, it's kind of hidden. If I can get to that world, I'd probably be excited for it. But here's
I would be pretty happy for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust that to happen.
Even do for a new Metal Gear?
I don't know, but I think the part that's like interesting for me personally is the idea that for a while there, Metal Gear Solid 4 was like, oh, this is the end of the series. This is where it ends. We've told the story that is being told between the saga of 1 to 4. And the idea of where do we go next was answered with or should we even go somewhere next, was answered with like Peace Walker being this prequel expanding on Big Boss's story, and then eventually we got some more of that in 5. But it took a lot of these kind of more bit characters or concepts that weren't fully fleshed out and fleshed them out to where they feel like they feel like integral parts of the story now. But back when 4 came out, like Kaz was, he was in the original 2 that nobody played, and he was this bit character in 1, but he was, people didn't really think of Kaz. Now, Kaz is like one of the most important characters in the series when you think of his contributions in Peace Walker and 5. So I think where the series could go is somewhere that, we might not even see, because it might be expanding upon elements that we didn't think about. Like, kind of like even with Rising, like, here's Sunny and what she's now. I didn't think, I wasn't really wondering in my head. I'm like, what's going to happen to Sunny in the future? But now I've seen what happens to Sunny in the future, and I'm like, that's a cool direction. I want to see more of that. And I think you could do that with a lot of the characters and bits that just weren't fully expanded upon.
You just gave me the idea. I know what they do.
Okay.
Metal Gear Rising 2, but it's about that kid who references the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the sewers. George?
The one that has subtitles for everything he's saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
the one that Raiden cuts in half, and then a cutscene later, he's like, "Nah, man, it's cool. I get it. I like having a robot arm, actually."
Does that happen?
Right? Yeah, because you get that part where Raiden starts going like Jack the Ripper, and the guy's like holding the gun to the kid's head, and he's like, "No, don't come any closer." Ryan just cuts both of them in half, and then you see George later. He's like, "Nah, man, it's cool. Look, I got a robot arm now." I'm like, "Okay, all right." No one talks about that.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit.
Ryan cuts that kid's arm off to kill the evil scientist guy.
What a game! What a game!
It is.
Anyway, I mean,
now he has a robot
the general
arm.
consensus.
So he can.
The general consensus, if you talk about it online, is that if we get a new Metal Gear game, it would be you play as the boss during World War II.
Which would be cool. That would be cool to see the boss expanded upon.
Actually, yeah, but then you find out that you're like her sister.
And then Metal Gear in 20 years from now becomes a whole series of here's the backstory of the mentor. And you get the mentor's backstory, and then we get that mentor's backstory, and eventually we'll be in like the plague era, like the Black Plague, learning about the boss's boss.
And that's how Fox Die started.
But you know what the fun part is?
Yeah, that's how we get the origin of Fox Die.
Yeah, that's how they did it.
We'll keep seeing them retroactively justify how Metal Gear technology was invented earlier and earlier and earlier.
Here's this medieval World War I era Metal Gear that they tried to make out of like wood and stones.
It's got trebuchets attached to it.
Yeah, it's just a trebuchet.
I was just formulating in my head, like, man, what if they did Yakuza? And it's like, it's not literally the characters, but it's basically the characters in like 1300s Japan or something. And you're just like playing as feudal or whatever era.
I'd watch
Solid
it.
Snake.
Yeah, I'd do that. You know what? I understand the appeal of that now that you've contextualized
We get to learn the
that
history of the first
characters.
person to get the codename Snake.
And then you find out it's Satan. And it's always just been like, no.
This touches on the second question I asked the people that submitted. I asked, hypothetically, if the series were to return with a new proper Metal Gear Solid title, what would you like/want to see from it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone just said David Hayter, bracket, unless
Good
he did
answer.
something sketchy, and then if he did something sketchy, then a return to linear game design. But only if David Hayter gets canceled does he want to return to linear game design.
Oh, we'll find something.
Understandable.
Don't worry. We'll find something
Valid.
for you.
I met David Hayter once, and he put his hand on my shoulder and said, "You're pretty good."
Oh,
That's just like Vic McNagna, actually. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Someone has said they want a ground up remake of the original Metal Gear 1 and 2, the MSX titles, with the same production values and storytelling as the original MGS games.
A proper remake of that would basically turn those into a whole new game. Like, it's very linear otherwise.
It would be a Final Fantasy VII remake situation, I imagine.
Yeah,
with those, but I would still
Metal Gear Rebirth.
I think it'd be cool. I think that would actually be really cool to see.
There was a part of me that held out hope all the way through Phantom Pain that at least the very end would be like the boss fight from the end of like Metal Gear 2 or whatever, right? Like they would just bring that into 3D and say screw it. But then Phantom Pain was Phantom Pain, so obviously that couldn't have happened. for many reasons.
No,
but-
I mean the best you get. Sorry, the best you get is Venom Snake walking into a cloud, and you see the Outer Heaven logo for like 3 frames.
yeah. And I was taking what I could get back then. I was like, okay, they
I still
acknowledged
think
it.
that's a good ending. I
Yeah.
really liked that ending for the record, but yeah,
Yeah.
it should have been so much
I
more.
I do too. I think the lack of Mission 51 is really the. Like, obviously, there's an entire third to that game that doesn't exist. But if Mission
There's an
51,
entire second half of the second chapter, honestly. Like
Right,
the
no,
second
it-
chapter had nothing in it.
You're
Yeah.
right, but ultimately, I think if Mission 51 had just been there, then I would feel like satisfied. Like
Yeah,
I have
I
I have the special edition, which shows you like what happens in Mission 51. So like knowing what happens is nice. It would have been cool to see that in game, but it is nice to just have that like kind of sewn up in my mind.
Yeah, because it is funny. Because otherwise,
It's
the
such a
kid just
shame, 'cause
runs
I
off with
think-
it.
I think, well, like, I feel like the implication of that was like that was going to be the opener for a third chapter. Like that was going to be like not an ending. I thought that was going to be like a whole new part of the game that they were building up to, but they just
Yeah.
didn't get to it.
It would be cool
Um,
to see what Liquid and Psycho Mantis get up to.
And like especially
haven't-
if like the reveal of Venom not being Big Boss was like midway through the game, I feel like they could have done some really cool stuff with that.
Then you'd have room
Yeah.
to play with the concept a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be neat. It would definitely be neat. The
Because-
same person who has asked for the Metal Gear 1 and 2 remakes has also in their same answer said, actually, also a completed version of MGS5 would be nice, but that's wishful thinking considering Kojima is kind of done with Konami at this point. And so we've actually touched on
Kind
that.
of.
It's nice. Someone has just said a peaceful transition of power to Kojima-san. So they want it given back to Kojima, which that is the wishful thinking.
No,
It
we're
would-
getting what's that new game that he's working on?
Fizzent
OD.
Isn't, yeah.
Oh, isn't.
or OD.
Oh yeah.
Fizzent.
Isn't.
Yeah.
My hot take is I don't want. Yeah, he's getting up there in age. I'd rather see him knock out some new stuff. I don't need him to come back to Metal Gear. That's my hot take.
I think I was more aligned with this take before Death Stranding came out, and then after seeing Death Stranding, I'm like, oh no, he's got the juice to do other stuff.
Yeah. I would have agreed
You
with
know?
this 10 years ago, but now 10 years have passed, and I'm like, he's kind of getting up there. I don't know how many more projects this guy's got in him before he's like, I want to
Yeah.
retire and go on a beach or something.
Yeah. Someone has just
That was
said,
a
just keep
loud
the
crash
gameplay.
outside.
Someone just says, just keep the gameplay consistently good. Sure. Someone here says, more calorie, mate, please.
Fair.
Plus
That's
2.
kind of the other thing
Valid.
is that there aren't many games that play like Metal Gear still. There are stealth games, but that specific flavor
not the
Metal
same.
Gear has.
Yeah. Now you're getting
Yeah.
more of like the immersive sim, Deus Ex, Thief, Dishonored,
Sonic 06.
even Hitman, right?
Right.
Hitman, I think, is maybe the closest we have to Metal Gear still these days. In terms of like raw gameplay, I think Hitman kind of scratches that itch.
Yeah, I think like the menu stuff also kind of plays into that too, because it's like, okay, that feels most Metal Gear like, just going through your inventory, picking things, and then it's like, all right, that's how I'm going to kill you. Bye.
Yeah, I think honestly, yeah. If you haven't played Hitman and you're like, I really want more Metal Gear gameplay, go play the new modern Hitman games, like the new trilogy. Like they're good, and
They're
they're,
pretty
not like story wise, you're not getting the same level of depth there.
Oh,
They're,
no.
they're pretty straightforward. Go kill the corrupt billionaire, but like, it's good. They're good games. They're real good
Plus
games.
2. Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Uh,
Thank you.
Someone says, I know what they could continue with, eyes emoji, and I've combined this with their other take that says Snake's second revenge.
Oh, revenge.
Yeah.
He
Second
came
round.
back for seconds.
I like the idea that someone's like, I want more of the I mean, Metal Gear Acid got a sequel in the non-canon line, so I guess why couldn't Snake's Revenge?
Man, it does feel like there's a low risk, a world where they do a low risk. Like, what if we did an 8-bit Metal Gear just to further put our toe in the water?
We're getting Ghost Babel re-released with the new collection,
That's true.
which
Yeah.
literally was a Game Boy Color Metal Gear.
Wasn't it? Maybe I'm wrong about this. I was under the impression for a long time that Ghost Babel was a Game Boy like remake of Metal Gear Solid 1.
It starts off as one, and then it becomes its own thing. And then someone found out recently, like no place reported on this. Like if you beat the game 3 times, the opening calls you Raiden,
Oh.
implying that Ghost Babel is the VR training that Raiden talked about?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yes,
Okay.
I've heard
Yeah.
that. I have heard that.
Interesting.
These last few under this question we have
Okay.
these are more specific, but both kind of play into this idea. Set it during the gap in between 2 and 4. Be based on a small PMC doing what it can to survive in the war economy. Focus on new characters and use all this to tell smaller stories to flesh out parts of the Metal Gear society at the time and branch out into different ways war affects the world, positive and negative.
It
Which
doesn't
kind
even have to be new characters. You could make that be like the Meryl's squad of like the guy with the exclamation mark hair.
Exactly. It's like just small bits of the world that was never like fully expanded upon. I think there is a lot of room to work with that. I'd love to see a Meryl story. I think that would be really cool. This other person says, and this kind of goes hand in hand. It says, a sequel to Revengeance would be nice because I feel that the post-future setting would be better equipped to handle the wild predictions of the world that Metal Gear games have an uncanny knack of doing. Still waiting on if the nanomachines can usher in the zombie apocalypse, though. And then under that, someone just says, I would like Revengeance 2. And I think the idea of Revengeance 2 being a direct sequel, like in terms of the timeline, like the next furthest thing, I think is interesting. But I've always wanted to see, because there were 2 other concepts for Revengeance that were floating around at the time before it got finalized into what it was. One of them was a Gray Fox prequel, which would be really cool to see. I would love to see a Rising do what Metal Gear did and be like, it doesn't have to be Raiden, so let's do Gray Fox. Let's do a Gray Fox prequel. I think that would be awesome. And the second one was that it was going to be set between 2 and 4 and show how Raiden became the cyborg. Like
that was the original plans for Rising, if I recall.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think both of those concepts would be really cool to see. I would also be okay with something post-Rising as well. But any of those 3 options, I think, are an easy pick for a Rising 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you could play as Jetstream Sam and explore his early life.
I'm okay.
We got a DLC where we played as Jetstream Sam.
But what if more?
What if more? Yeah,
I just want to say Jetstream Sam out loud. I'm sorry. I just wasted your time.
It's a fun name.
I do like the idea of playing as the character whose like sole purpose is to kind of look like the other guy Raiden fought before.
Yeah.
And then have his twist be that he's not even a cyborg. Like, he's just like that. He's just Puerto Rican.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think like the most generally, and this is what I see online, I think the most agreed upon thing of getting more Metal Gear is Rising, right?
Yeah.
Getting more Rising. And I'm
It'd
good with
just be
that.
the
I'd
easiest
be
thing
happy
for me to
with
get
it.
excited for, right? I already know I like it, and I'm already kind of like conditioned for that to be sillier and not as mattering, you know?
It doesn't have yeah.
I want a Platinum Games dub. It's kind of been a while since Platinum's had a dub, you know? It's kind of been rocky waters as a Platinum fan.
I'm still reeling from that Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah, that was the one where I was like, oh, maybe not everything they touch is gold, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think like if it doesn't have the baggage of needing Kojima, I think that is its biggest strength. Is you don't need Kojima attached. Like if you do a new Metal Gear Solid title, there is inevitably going to be the like, hey, where's Kojima? Like, why isn't Kojima on this?
And that's
but if you do Rising, it doesn't have that baggage.
That's where I feel for a lot of the ideas, because a lot of them are good. Like the boss prequel, that's been like said forever, right? And that's always been a great idea. But I don't have to interface with these people, but I'd feel for them having to put up with a fan base that would not accept anything. It's like, this isn't the canon of the boss because Kojima's not here, and I don't care how good it is. You know, who knows what he would have done instead, and I can't accept this. It's like, well,
yeah, it's a tough position to be in. I think like obviously in an ideal world, in a weird ideal world where the ideal of Kojima coming back isn't feasible, but we can get the next best ideal. I think getting the guy who directed Rising, like the protege, I think getting him to do another Rising would also be really cool because he clearly did a good job with Rising. For as much of a parody as that game feels like, it's a love letter parody at the same time, right? And yet still feels perfectly in line with what you would see that universe becoming at that point. Yeah, I would love a Revengeance 2 or a Revengeance prequel, Gray Fox, whatever it is. Someone has just wrote in Nanomachines son 6 times.
hell yeah.
Not me.
Good answer.
But yeah, I like them. You know what? I think that's not a hot take. I think that's the correct take.
I think genuinely one of the things that Rising did best was the criticism. I don't know if it's a criticism, but the observation for so long on the Metal Gear series was that Nanomachines was the answer to everything. So to have the game that's all about the cyborgs have the plot twist reveal be that the final villain is using nanomachines instead of being a cyborg is so funny. Like that's
I
great.
can't-
That's
that-
perfect. That's peak cinema. That's peak
Is that the next Nier game? It's Nier Automata 2, and it's just that everything you just said happens in that.
Automata. Yeah.
Yo, Nier's actually just
Tumata?
Automata.
I'm gonna throw everything out the window. I don't want a new game. I want a Metal Gear anime.
There was one.
I want a new one.
I know they were working on a
Snake,
movie.
place the TV remote on your back.
Yeah. So to finish off, we have
He hated
Sorry,
that
I thought
joke.
that was
He
the end.
hates
So I was like, let
immediately.
me throw in a quick interject. Sorry, please keep going.
no. To finish off, we have a few questions, like direct. I opened up the floor to.
Oh, that's
if anyone
right,
has
there were
any
questions.
Yeah, if anyone has questions for us specifically
Okay.
about things, there's a few here. This will be in place of our usual Patreon question segment at the end because we just have several questions here.
Okay.
This one just says, "Would you go out of your way?" Which is an interesting way to phrase that. Would you go out of your way to give a new Metal Gear game a go, even if Kojima won't be around to create it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'd give it a shot. Well,
Mm.
I'd have to see what it looks like first.
Also, like I love seeing a game as it is, even if like the original team isn't involved. I don't care if it's a carcass that's being puppeted around like Weekend at Bernie's style. Like that's what I did with Metal Gear Survive, and I still had an okay time with that game.
Poking the zombies through the chain link fence was my main memory of
Yeah,
that game.
because you have the same 1, 2, 3 combo for every pole weapon in that game.
I don't know that I'll like
Um,
jump out day one, $70-$80 it, you know what I mean? But I'd have to know at some point.
Yeah.
Like I just have to see it for myself. So like, yeah, I would. And it does seem like they're gearing up for it, right? That does seem to be what they're indicating when they speak over the last few years is like a
Right.
lot of us are still here and we still kind of want to make this happen kind of vibes. So I'm like, I'm willing to hear them out. You know?
Yeah, I think the
Yeah.
interesting thing is
Maybe
the
this
fact
time
that
they'll actually
like,
bring back voice actors if they do more remakes.
God. I think
I mean-
like it's interesting that they decided after Delta. I think Delta did well, right? So it's
Seem to.
interesting to see that they're not doing a 4 remake. They are just doing a port. So they're not just like going back to that well multiple times over like right away.
Yeah.
They're saying,
Well,
yeah,
I
we'll
mean-
give you the 4 port that like we never had. We've never done that has been due
The
for so
3
long.
re-release on the Legacy collection did come out while Delta was being worked on.
That's true. I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility they could do a 4 remake, but I feel like they would do maybe 1 and 2 before that.
Yeah,
probably
I think
should
a
now.
1 remake feels more likely.
Yeah. Yo, I was gonna say Twin Peaks remake, Twin Snakes remake.
Twin Peaks remake.
Okay, well that'd be a
Damn
curveball.
good coffee.
Yeah.
I had a dream last night.
Someone asks, can Konami make quality Metal Gear games without Kojima? What would be the best way for them to do it? If you knew for certain that Kojima would never return to projects, would you still want to see Metal Gear games? So I think we've said
See,
yes
that's a
to
tough
that.
one.
But the quality question I think is interesting. Would it
Yeah,
it
like,
be
I think that
never
they
again.
totally could, as long as a producer was overseeing it that like knew what made Metal Gear special.
Mhm.
But aside from that, I can't say that I have a lot of faith in their ability to do so.
I think it'd be like a little different if there was like an ending that we don't have. I mean, sure, there's some questions that we still have within the world and what have you, and
Yeah.
like, oh, the lore and what happens next, blah, blah, blah. But like, if we didn't have, like, say, Metal Gear Solid 4, like we ended with Metal Gear Solid 2, and it was like, oh, all this stuff still left unanswered, and then they continue without Kojima, that I could be more understanding of that. But
Mm.
to basically just Dragon Ball GT it, yeah.
Yeah.
There are some bangers in GT, don't get me wrong, but like,
Mhm.
Do you
Hmm.
think if we get a Metal Gear 1 remake that the Arnold boss, which is meant to be the Terminator, the Arnold, Terminator T-800, do you think
Mhm.
that they would keep it just the Terminator, and so it's a young Snake fighting like a young Arnold?
They should.
I think they should.
I think if they
We'll
want
get
win
to
over
fight.
Metal
We'll
Gear
get to have the
fans-
great moment in full HD of "I'm Boomerang Kid,"
This
whatever his name was.
Yeah.
this next one isn't a question, but it is addressed specifically. I think this comes from the person that submitted all of the stuff about Snake's Revenge. They say, Cassandra, thanks for making that review. It's one of my favorites, right next to Mega Man X6's review.
Oh, thank you.
It's a hot take.
It's a hot
I got a
take.
comment on my Snake's Revenge video today, which is interesting. I wonder
Now
if
we
it's
know
the same
who it
guy.
was.
Yeah.
This one just says, what do you think about Calorie Mate?
I've almost
Thought it was
tried
good.
it a few times, but
I
I've
think
not
we
been
already
brave enough.
didn't we already answer this
yeah,
question?
yeah. I mean, someone just really went in on Calorie Mate.
Okay.
On here.
More hard in paint.
Someone asks, we have 2 more questions. One of them says, what song would each of you have blasting out of your Metal Gear if you had to carry out revolutionary actions with it?
Ooh.
Does it have to be a Metal Gear song?
I don't think
I don't think so.
So-
My girlfriend played me a song that was really good recently, and I'm gonna swear jar this one. Off with their bleeping head, and they just said that over and over. I think that would be pretty cool.
I will
okay, if
say, it doesn't have to be Metal Gear
Gear,
music. Having Senator Armstrong's theme playing would be kind of badass.
Oh, did it have to be Metal Gear music? I thought it was
No,
like,
no,
what
no,
would
it
we
could be.
blast
I was just-
if we were.
I was
okay,
just going
okay,
both
okay.
ways on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Because I would do Heaven's Divide if it had to be Metal Gear,
that's a good one.
just because it
Okay.
might be disconcerting to hear a giant.
Invisible by Duran Duran.
And also Invisible Die Duran Duran. Yeah.
I mean, there are straight up like some games. My buddy and I both do this. Some games we'll get to the final boss fight and then we'll just start playing. It has to be this way
That's a good
while
one.
we do the boss fight. Like it's just that good.
Ooh,
Just in case
so-
it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
hold on, what's the
If I had to
Collective
pick a
Consciousness.
song,
collective consciousness? If I
that's
had to do
a good one
for Metal
yeah.
Gear.
'Cause that's my favorite song from Rising. Like I know that everyone loves it has to be this way, but like
Yeah.
Collective Consciousness is
it's so
my
good.
favorite song from Rising.
Says
If
a lot
I
about
had
the
to
state
have
of the world.
Sadder song, Father and Son. Like if
Well,
if
yeah.
I'm going out, like that's just
If it's
playing.
like your final sacrifice, I'd go
Yeah.
actually with Oompa Loompa Doopity
That's a good one. That's a good one.
because
okay.
if you die to that, like that's an embarrassment, right?
No,
Like,
it's
I'm
an
really-
honor.
Yeah. Actually, I you know what I
Although
think
you know
there's-
what, it is all those kids died to that. So
Yeah, they
well,
like trial run it if you think about it.
Yeah. What if I feel like Trapped in the Closet would be worse than that.
Bad to the bone. Just off the loudspeakers from the Metal Gear walking around.
actually, if you ride around in that little Metal Gear in MGS5, you can answer this question in game for yourself, and I think mine would in fact be Kids of America.
No.
I mean, just a Digimon movie
Looking out a
soundtrack.
dirty old window. Yeah.
Actually, no, that would actually kind of go hard.
100% the Digimon soundtrack. Actually, yeah, Digimon movie.
Yeah, actually, I would change the world if that was on. And I was in
The
a
impression that I get.
I really liked playing Metal Gear
It's
Solid
been-
5, and you go into a porta potty, and then you start playing the cassette of man pooping.
Oh, that. I think
Uh,
I can say
Condition
maybe sold the
yourself
world.
to be comfortable to poop. I do that too.
Our final question
Hmm?
is an contentious one potentially. Which ending of Metal Gear Solid 1 do you prefer? The good ending or bad ending? Bracket Meryl or Otacon?
I like the bad ending in Twin Snakes because Otacon rolls down a mountain backwards, or like rolls down a hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like while there's this really like heart-wrenching speech from Naomi, it pans to a shot of Otacon just rolling backwards down a hill. And, like you can hear him going like,
Okay, this is gonna be a weird deep cut, but I'm gonna go with the good ending with Meryl because like back then I always equated Meryl to Tron Bond from Mega Man Legends, and I wanted Tron Bond to be a good person in like Mega Man Legends 2 and 3, and I'm like,
Okay,
so
okay,
that
I like
just
that. I like that.
Very-
I really thought
yeah.
you were going to cut that sentence off at I really wanted Tron Bond.
Yeah, me too. That's where I thought that was going. But
I don't know. I think I was just no. Maybe was I going through puberty?
I mean, the
at that
character
time?
is 14 years old. So how old were you?
I mean, I was a kid. I know that. I don't know how old I was. How old was I when Metal Gear Solid came out?
It came out in
3.
like 95.
2. Almost 2 back
Metal
then.
Gear Solid 1.
No, Metal Gear Solid 2 did not
came
come
out in 98.
I think my answer to this question has shifted as time
was
has
like
gone
10.
on. Because when I first played it, I got the Meryl ending, and I'm like, yeah, I like Meryl as a character. I don't want her to be dead. So, like, objectively, I guess I like that ending more in the sense of Meryl is alive and continues to be in the series later as a character that I like. So, if I'm going in terms of that, the Meryl ending. I also like what it has to say on Snake. I like the conversation they have. I like that you learn Snake's name and the live Snake live and all that. I think that's really good. But like as time has gone on, I just really appreciate Snake and Otacon's like
Bromance.
whole thing. Yeah, like their whole entire thing. Where like Otacon, again, like I said, one of the best video game sidekicks to ever exist, up there with like Kim Katsuragi and Clank.
And Sparks.
I have no more tears to shed.
And so Otacon's just great. I love seeing them together. But ultimately, their bromance goes on for 2 and 4, no matter which ending you get. So I guess I could safely still say I like the Meryl ending because it doesn't actually impact Snake and Otacon's relationship going forward after that point.
I go with Otacon. Because there's no way that dude changed his pants and then he went out into the cold and felt that. He's a real one.
Okay.
I like the Meryl ending because she's like, Snake, look, get caribou.
Okay.
These are good games. Final shout out
If
to the
someone,
Metal Gear.
hold on, I just want to get this out. Could you imagine someone who has no idea about Metal Gear listening to this podcast and forming an opinion on Metal Gear just from what we're talking about?
I hope someone does. I hope someone does the classic I get all my opinions from YouTubers thing, but from this podcast.
Ooh. We should
which
instill
I'll
good
say-
opinions.
Buddy, did a YouTuber give it to you?
Yeah, to which I say to that person listening to this podcast right now,
Hi.
just know that your opinion should be that the Metal Gear Rex versus Ray fight is the best boss fight in the series.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's pretty sick.
Do what I do and start
like
with
pretty
4, by
sweet.
the way.
You should
start with
start
four.
with 4.
4 is a perfect ending. Start with it.
Yeah, it really wasn't too confusing other than the
Well, I
whole
mean, it's
Ocelot
like the
thing.
people. It's like the people who, when they start a new book, they read the last chapter first and then they go back.
Yeah, you gotta know if you're
I mean, I
getting into a
went-
good book. You don't want to waste your time.
I
Yeah.
went 1 to 4 and then later did a full series playthrough of 1 through 4, but I did only do 1 and then 4 originally, and that worked pretty well. I was like, I don't know who this Raiden guy is. I don't know who, whatever, but it still worked. And then I got to go back and see, and that was cool. And then I did
Guy
the whole thing.
who's played Metal Gear only through even numbers.
2 and 4, boy. That,
Classic 2, solid 2, and then 4.
God, that'd be wild.
Oh,
We
okay.
don't have a Metal Gear
but
0,
yeah.
do we?
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of what 5 is.
Sorry, Rizzler face. Metal Gear 0, okay.
All right. The Rex versus Ray thing was my final thoughts. If anyone has any final thoughts, say them now or forever hold your weenus.
I like Metal Gear.
I liked when Ocelot, Liquid Ocelot, kisses Snake on the cheek during the final boss of 4.
The Liquid Ocelot versus Snake fight is the only fight that gives Ray versus Rex a run for its money as best one. Like, they're
It's
both
legitimately a great boss
they're both
fight.
peak, like absolute.
Yeah.
Like the entirety of MGS4 is a perfect ending to that entire series.
I agree.
My God,
Like
that-
4
so-
has its problems. I still hate the motorcycle section with Eva, but like I really
Yeah.
like any of the rail shooter segments on 4. I'm not a fan of, but I love like playing that game as an ending. If you go back and you play the game, like even release order, going 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I know that okay, duh, that makes sense. But 3 being a prequel, like 4 is just such a great ending to the series. Honestly,
absolutely 100%.
And then I think I'll finish my piece with
Walker.
I think
Oh, Sean.
it was
Yeah.
really cool how much Kojima glazed Che Guevara in Peace Walker.
Okay.
Hamburgers.
The rest of us didn't play Peace Walker, didn't we? I'm just going to call it out.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I like
but,
Peace Walker.
I'm sitting here like, yeah, I played the first 3 hours like 5 times. Yeah.
You fight a
I think
helicopter.
Peace Walker is so good until you get to the credits the first time, and then it's like, Snake, the bad guy escaped. Go find him 9 times.
Humongous entertainment classic.
Yeah, like the bad guy is like, oh, he got away. Go into these old levels you've already beaten. Go find him. Where he goes, you found me, and then you put a Fulton on him, and then it's like, oh, he got away again. Go do some more side quests, and eventually you'll find. You do it like 7 times, I swear.
Let's not
PSP.
brush over that his name. Let's not brush over that his name is Hot
what was it?
Coldman.
Hot Coldman, yeah.
Oh, that's Hot Coldman. Okay.
Hot
Oh.
Coldman was the first instance of like the man suffix Kojima naming scheme. Like people think, oh, Die Hardman or whatever, or like Death Stranding. No, that stuff started with Hot Coldman.
He was the blueprint. In fact,
I like when he
was kind of
goes
a prototype.
like to peace, and then he shoots his fist out as with a peace sign.
Boy.
These are good games. Trust us, these are good games. Please play them.
They're amazing
They are.
games. Like Peace
are.
Walker still like okay. First time I'll end it with this. All right. First time I ever cried at a video game was in Metal Gear Solid 5 because it was the first one I played. But I probably should have led with that. Metal Gear Solid 5 was my gateway.
Mm.
The mission Shining Lights Even in Death when you have to go kill your own people. That is the first time I've ever cried at a video game.
That's a good, and it's playing the Peace Walker theme.
Yeah, and they're like, we'll let the boss decide, and then they're all humming the Peace Walker theme.
Oh my god, so good.
Like that, I got chills thinking about it.
Incredible, absolutely incredible moment. Like people can say what they want about like 5 not being as narratively cogent as the rest of them, but my god, that moment is incredible.
It's really good.
Yeah.
They should have
Good stuff.
expanded the zoo on Mother Base in 5 is my hot take. I should have been able
Yo,
to like,
can we
take
get-
care of the animals.
Zoo
That was
Tycoon, but Shadow Moses.
it took me 200 hours to 100% Metal Gear Solid 5. And I'm pretty sure that like 20 of those hours was just going to one specific spot on the map and putting down mouse traps because I just needed one specific mouse and I couldn't get it.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
All right, we're spinning our wheels. Everyone do the Metal Gear Solid salute as we leave the podcast. By which it means just like a regular salute. We're actually all just
Yeah,
really.
I was like, what makes it a
patriotic.
Metal Gear salute?
Because we're gonna put the Peace Walker theme over.
We're definitely going to do that.